Well, thank you, and so great to see you all here today. Great to see those of you who are joining us online. Welcome to UC Santa Cruz. We believe we have the most beautiful campus in the world, and I hope you'll agree. We're delighted to be again hosting the Breakthrough Discuss conference, and I'm very proud of the pioneering astronomy, astrobiology, and astrophysics research that has happened on our campus and continues to happen every day as UC Santa Cruz scientists work to advance and evolve our understanding of the universe. Our research on exoplanets stretches back more than 20 years, with UC Santa Cruz researchers among the first to detect a planet outside our solar system. This work is continued today by Natalie Battaglia, Jonathan Fortney, Andy Skimmer, and so many others. Enrico Ramirez Ruiz, Stan Woolsey, and Ryan Foley continue to expand our collective knowledge of high energy astrophysics, things like black holes, neutron stars, and exploding supernovae. Cosmology, galaxy formation, and the evolution of the universe have long been in the domain of our own Sandra Faber, Garth Illingworth, and my predecessor as Chancellor, George Blumenthal. While in past years, research discoveries in these and related fields made headlines, I believe we've reached a very special moment in history, with humans around the globe now having a shared vision and a common goal, finding life beyond Earth. This is evidenced by the fact that in both the private and the public sectors, we now see every time we host a space-related event, we witness this excitement. Last year, we had 1,500 people gather in the Redwoods at our Quarry Amphitheater to experience the wonder of astrobiology and contemplate the mysteries and origin of life through poetry, music, and art. At UC Santa Cruz, it isn't just the scientists who are involved in this endeavor. Being the first generation capable of finding signs of elsewhere in the universe that might host life, it carries great responsibility, doesn't it? I'm sure you have thought about that. I think about it too. So we're going to need scholars of all sorts, humanists and artists, ethicists and philosophers, to tackle the tangential issues that are raised by interstellar search. Those discussions are desperately needed, and I hope that other institutions will involve themselves in them as well. After millennia of humans looking up at the stars, we're just now beginning to be able to see the true nature of the cosmos and to understand our place within it. Just a short time ago, we were squinting at the stars, wondering about the potential of life elsewhere. I welcome the Breakthrough Discuss and everyone here as partners on this incredible human endeavor as we work to bring life in the universe into a tighter focus. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mike Garrett, the Sir Barnard Lovell Chair of Astrophysics at the University of Manchester.
Thanks very much, Cynthia. Good morning, everyone. Absolutely pleasure to be one of the hosts of Breakthrough Discuss 2023. I've been involved in the Breakthrough Listen initiative more or less from the start, and so I've seen it grow to where it is today, and the progress has been sort of absolutely fantastic. Potentially maybe there's a long way to go before we get that detection, but I don't know if many of you might have seen yesterday in the press that there's a tentative detection of low-frequency gravitational waves from these very long pulsar timing experiments that have been running for decades. So I think that reminds us of something that Nelson Mandela said, which is, it's only impossible until it's done. And one day it will be done. And things will be really very different, and we'll understand a lot more about, us and where we are in the universe and how the universe is. So I think we need to be positive. And I think also this session today is also all about looking towards the future. Had an interesting discussion on the bus about what all the problems are, about reaching the nearest star, but it's certainly something that can be done. And hopefully will be done, over the next several decades. So we need to keep that long-term perspective. Finally, we're really excited about the changes to the Breakthrough Listen, this more distributed approach, some of the central operations coming to Oxford and to the UK. And in Manchester, we really hope to continue to contribute to that and to support it. And we wish Breakthrough Listen and the Breakthrough Foundation all the best in that new and exciting endeavour. So I will stop there. I'm going to introduce a colleague and indeed a friend, Nathalie Cabral. Nathalie is from the SETI Institute. She's also director of the Carl Sagan Centre. So.
Good morning, everyone, and it's a great pleasure to be here. My name is Nathalie Cabral. I am the chief scientist of the SETI Institute Carl Sagan Center, and we share one very dear person between the Institute and the University of Santa Cruz, and with Frank Drake. So we'll have a thought for Frank. It's a great pleasure to be here with you this morning, and before I forget, I must extend the good wishes of our CEO, Bill Diamond, who unfortunately could not attend the event because he has the painful duty to be currently on a cruise ship somewhere between Iceland and Norway, and I have the evidence for that. He actually reached Svalbard this morning. On the other hand, this gives me the pleasure to be here with you all and thank all the host partners for this event, and also welcome all the participants on this second day. And I would also like to take the opportunity to acknowledge Breakthrough for his contribution and support to the SETI Institute and the SETI search at the SETI Institute with the COSMIC project, as well as its support for the Hat Creek Observatory. It's been extremely uplifting to see the SETI search at the SETI Institute take flight in the past few years with new project, renewed enthusiasm, and a growing team. Although there is still much to be done, it certainly feels that we are on the right track thanks to the leadership of Andrew Simeon, our SETI team, and the support of Breakthrough. So thank you very much for all you contribute. It's paying great scientific and technological dividends. And as we look to the future, the collaboration between Breakthrough, the Institute, and others over the world gives us inspiration and hope that quantum leaps can be achieved towards answering the old questions, are we alone? And we should look at this question at all scales and from many different perspectives. As an astrobiologist, I'm particularly delighted to see the breadth of this year's conference papers going from technosignature to biosignatures, whether from space, the moon, or the Earth. The complex question of life in the universe must be approached in a holistic fashion. And as a leader of a multidisciplinary institute focused on the search for life, from its origin to ET, I also make a point to always encourage our scientists to connect new dots, new expertise, and new perspectives on these questions, because you never know where the answer to an old question is going to come from. This is central to the new strategic vision at the Carl Sagan Center, and so is the goal of the Institute to develop innovative vision concepts stemming from these new connections and out-of-the-box ideas. With these missions, we will design, test, and implement new scientific and technological concepts, but also new intellectual frameworks. The Institute is a home of nearly 100 scientists, many involved and having experience in space and planetary missions, instrument design, exploration strategies, planetary exploration, data recovery, AI, and more. So it's one of my top priorities in the coming years to seek, form, and contribute to new partnerships that will result in a new class of mission that look at the search for life at all scales and from new perspective. And I will now end these remarks by saying that it is not only about doing the same science with the same or slightly different technology. It is about also going at the core of that question. It is about redefining how we think of life as a universal process and how we approach biosignature and technosignatures at all scale. These partnerships will pave the way to a new brand of scientific exploration and countless discovery. Thank you very much all for your attention. And I would like to introduce our next speaker, who is Bull Janussi, the head of Department of Astronomy at the University of Arizona.
Good morning. I'm very pleased to add my welcome to all that you've been receiving and also to represent the space science community at the University of Arizona in joining all of you in thanking the organizers of Breakthrough Discuss in creating the kind of environment that is so critical to the human endeavor that is science and science exploration. We're fortunate this year to be celebrating our 100th anniversary of the dedication of our first major research facility, a telescope of huge size, as it was in a banner in the morning paper, back in 1923. Through the generosity of Lavinia Stewart, Andrew Ellicott Douglas realized his 20-year dream to bring research to the campus of the University of Arizona. He was the entire department. But in his dedication speech, he anticipated that while facilities needed to be added over time, and we're very proud of what Regents Professor Marcia Ricci has done in leading the NIRCam instrument for James Webb, or Roger Angel in developing the Mirror Lab and all the giant telescopes that's generated. We're most proud of the students and faculty and postdocs and staff that come together over the last 100 years to explore the universe together and share what we learn with the world. And it's through events like this event that we form the partnerships that are so critical to do the next generation of science. And we really appreciate what Breakthrough Discuss is doing to further so many transformative science fields that our students get to be part of. So thank you, Breakthrough Discuss. And thank you, alum of the University of Arizona, Pete Worden. And it's now my pleasure to introduce the next speaker, Harry Atwater, Howard Hughes Professor of Applied Physics and Materials Science at Caltech.
Okay, on behalf of my 6,000 colleagues in science and engineering across astrophysics, space and planetary science and engineering at Caltech and JPL, I want to say we welcome, as a host of Breakthrough Discuss, welcome everybody to this meeting. You've already heard about some of the innovations in space science from JPL yesterday in the talks of Tzu-Cheng Chang and Joe Lazio, which is sort of the tip of the iceberg with regard to things going on in space science and technology at Caltech. And from the Mars rovers to Cassini-Huygens to NuSTAR, Psyche, the Space Solar Power Project, including the Mars helicopter Ingenuity, which saw its first tests on the Caltech campus in the robotics laboratory. There's a long history of innovation in the service of space science and ultimately the search for life. So on behalf of all those at Caltech, welcome, and I will turn the podium over